Hey there. Okay, so pretty much how Stephen and I actually met was through LinkedIn and then the music industry, as we both are part of the music industry, especially me because I'm a music consultant. So basically what I do is I help with music contracts, royalty audits, finding royalties, song registrations. I basically help with all the music admin in the music industry, like all the paperwork kind of thing. Kind of try and be the voice for artists. So, I mean, I fully understand that artists are very busy in studio and need that kind of help. And so I help on a legal standpoint as well because I'm also a paralegal. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And it's my passion and I absolutely love it. The name behind the Stephen Gawking is actually a play on words from Stephen Hawking. So, as we all know, Stephen Hawking was a brilliant man and had a brilliant mind, but he was then diagnosed with motor neuron disease and eventually landed up being paralyzed and bound to a wheelchair. And Stephen himself is bound to a wheelchair as well. And Stephen himself has a brilliant mind. So it's basically a play on words, and the reason for that is just because you have some form of a disability, he's basically putting across a movement where you can still reach your goals, you can still achieve your dreams, you can still do everything else that every other person could do with just as much determination and willpower, really. And then the reason why I support it wholeheartedly is for various reasons. Number one, it's a great movement, and number two, I can personally attest to it because I have a younger brother who himself is bound to a wheelchair and has been since he was about 9 years old. He has cerebral palsy. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy when he was quite young, as well as dystonia. Because the dystonia got worse as he got older, he unfortunately had to go into a wheelchair. But nonetheless, that hasn't stopped him from achieving his dreams and his goals and just being this sort of zest for life kind of a person. And it's a serious inspiration to me. And Stephen himself is also a great inspiration because he's basically, again, trying to put that movement across to say, listen, just because you have a disability doesn't mean to say you can't do day-to-day things and work really hard to achieve something. So I think it's a great movement and I completely and utterly support it and I love it. The whole inspiration with the missionary comic book is actually because Stephen loves sci-fi and he loves fantasy as well. So he basically has this brilliant imagination to go into the sort of sci-fi world to kind of get out of the reality that he's in regarding his situation. And so he's created this sort of imagination or this like sci-fi world where he can go into and be anything he wants to be or anything he can be, and also has put it together for people like himself who has a disability of some sort, where they too can kind of go into this like sort of fantasy world to sort of be anything they want to be or be a superhero of whatever sort. So I think that's really, really great, and I think it's always important to put aside your current situation and even go into a fantasy world if that's how you want to do things, and sort of like lighten, sort of be like the illuminating the dark reality, as he likes to sort of put it. And I mean, I think it's great. So that's pretty much the whole idea around the comic book, and again, great idea, and also to help others out there with their situation. And that's pretty much it. So what am I currently busy with? Pretty much trying to get my company overseas at this point, or at least my service is overseas, because I've seen the kind of impact that it has here in South Africa, and it's quite a positive one. And so I'd like to venture into the overseas market, as I have worked with a couple overseas people before, help them again with like any music admin, be it contracts, royalties, that sort of thing, and pretty much putting like packages together that they can utilize on a monthly basis for themselves, that can help them, both guide them and get the foot in the door. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm busy with, just doing a whole bunch of research and trying to see which market would be the best for my company. I'm also in the process of revamping my company, basically rebranding, changing its name, to sort of be more related to the music industry. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm busy with. So yeah. In terms of how you can connect with me, you can either connect with me directly on my personal Instagram, which is just called Lolly Muso. It's just a picture of myself. In terms of my company, you can connect with me on Facebook. It's called the Paralegal Company. It couldn't be any more obvious, because I'm also a paralegal. And yeah, it's just the profile picture is like a white background with just the scales saying the Paralegal Company, and it's got all my details there if you'd like to chat with me. If you've got any questions or like any inquiries of your own regarding the music industry, and again, you can also connect with us on Instagram. It's called the Paralegal Co, with the exact same profile picture. And yeah, I'd love to meet you guys, love to chat. I'm always happy to meet new people, and it's always good to do so. So yeah, definitely drop me a message if you'd like to.